Hello, so this is my paper 3 Good Kings Bad Kings video reflection. So first off, I genuinely really enjoy this book. If I am going to be completely honest with you, this is the first book that I have actually sat down and read word for word, cover to cover since my junior year of high school. And I actually found myself looking forward to reading this book. I took it home for Easter break, and I thought that would be the best time to just be able to sit down and actually have downtime and read it. And I found myself like looking forward to the times when I would get to sit down and read, and I would be like, oh, I have 10 minutes, like I can go get one more character's perspective. So I really did enjoy it. I felt like taking away from it, I felt like I gained knowledge and an appreciation for what actually goes on inside of an institution for those with disabilities like ILLC. I felt like this book did a fantastic job of captivating the variety of characters that come with a place like this. The kids, from the kids who are like actually there being taken care of, and their variety of like disabilities and personalities, but yet they're all in the same situation. I think of the characters like Mia and Yessie, who are two girls that are in a home for disabled juveniles, yet their personalities and their situations are very different, like their capabilities are different. I also think that it's very apparent how each type of adult and like their morals have such an impact on the residents of the ILC. For example, I think of people like Ricky, Joanne, and Jimmy, who had such large impacts on the well-being and the morale of the group there. I truly believe that without individuals who were sympathetic and on their side like these individuals, that more kids would not make it out and would end up like Teddy and Pierre. Sadly enough, characters like Louie and Jerry are all too common for places like this in nursing homes and homes for the disabled. And I felt like those characters just brought up the dark reality that from the outside, homes like these seem like they're really good and they're working for a good cause. And yes, they are, but in reality, there is the other side of this, that there are corrupt employees that are working there and that are ultimately harming the kids and putting them in not great situations. Overall, I felt like the difference in characters between like Ricky, Joanne, and Jimmy versus Jerry and Louie perfectly represented the title of Good Kings, Bad Kings. Moving on, like something that really stuck out to me were the characters who were most negatively impacted by the ILLC and those who ran it, and those characters were Teddy, Pierre, and Mia. I think what stuck out to me the most when it comes to these three characters is how much their scenarios impacted the rest of the kids living there, and even like me as a reader, I felt like they impacted me a lot too, and also when comparing the two, how little their situations were affected the staff and the administration who ran the ILLC. More specifically, Teddy's death. Through the different perspectives, you can see how each character is affected by Teddy's death in such big ways and in such different ways. Like, for example, Yessie acts so hardcore throughout the entire book. She's tough as nails, yet she talks about crying at his funeral and having to fix her makeup. At the same time, we get to see the perspectives of the board through their board meeting and their emergency meeting after Teddy passes. The way that the administration talks about the death and the kids at the ILC, it's as if they're like pawns in a game. They don't even like act or refer to them like they're real humans. For example, like Dr. Cavallini or Dr. Ravioli, as they refer to him, he shows up late to the meeting and literally slips a note to Michelle with a joke on it. You can just tell he's just not even taking it seriously when this is a really serious thing that has happened. Overall, the meeting is simply for damage control for the company itself. And more specifically, this really stood out to me in Michelle's chapter. She talks about, and like it's quoted, that none of this was a big deal though until one of the girls sat out in front of the building with a sign saying they abuse and kill children here. So it was like, oh, none of this with Teddy is a big deal. Well, it is for the family, but none of this is a big deal until it became a PR issue. And they also take Teddy's death and turn it into a, well, most kids are alive here, so we're doing our job right kind of thing. Because how all of this played out as a reader, I was really ready for Yessie's protest. I felt like she was the perfect character to kind of get the ball rolling and start to create change and stand up for the treatment. So by the time that we got to the end of the book, I felt connected to the characters, and I felt like I cared about them more than the actual staff in the book did. Overall, I felt like the changing of in and out of the perspectives of the characters made for them to be really well-rounded and dynamic characters in my mind, and it also just kept me really engaged as a reader from reading their different perspectives. This was a really different style than any other book that I've read before, so I felt like it really kept me engaged and it made it interesting to me. Finally, although this is a fictional book, I felt like it did a really good job of just highlighting on very real scenarios and situations among the disabled community, and I felt like it was a great read that provided insight on a very real topic in my mind. And like I said before, I really did genuinely enjoy reading this book, and I would recommend it to other people. Thank you.